Is this sponsored, Gina?
Well, let's just say the Trilogy Veterinary Medical Center. It's Dr. Davis is opening his new hospital.
Dr. Josh Davis is here, soon to be opening his medical center, his veterinary hospital, veterinary clinic, I guess you'd say.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, it's the Trilogy Veterinary Medical Center. It's opening October 6th. You'll hear more about that coming up. But he's here to answer your questions about your puppies and your kitties. And he can handle most things. 877-602-9696 is the number. Call and ask Dr. Davis any question you like about your poor suffering dog, your poor suffering cat, what you might be doing wrong or right, what advice you should seek. Dr. Davis can help you, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, I have a question. I always have a question.
Question of the day.
So I've got Oakley, the puppy, and with golden retrievers, you worry a lot about their joints and their hips. I've read that I shouldn't let her jump in and out of the car when she's little because that could do some damage to that.
You're supposed to lift her in and lift her out of the car?
That's what I'm asking. Because it's hard to keep her from jumping out of the car.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, dogs, they're going to do what they do, and it's hard to control everything. And if they're healthy weights, healthy joints, then usually as long as things, it's, especially if it's wet or slippery, you do want to be careful with that because they can hurt their knees pretty badly that way. But if you keep them healthy and they don't have underlying joint issues, which hip dysplasia, everyone's heard of that. It's I would say it's not super common, but it is a more common orthopedic issue. And if they have that, you'll often start seeing signs of pain even early on in life, depending on the severity. But, if they're getting around and doing their thing and you keep them a good, healthy weight, within reason, like let them play, let them be dogs and everything.
Okay.
But slipping and falling, that's where problems can happen. Yeah. So if they have a hard time navigating it, just help boost them in there.
Okay. I ironically have hip dysplasia, and it's from jumping in and out of the car when I was a little kid.
My wife's car is lower to the ground, so it's probably okay, but mine's higher.
Yeah.
So I probably should take Hudson and pick him up and put him in and take him out when we go to daycare.
Because a lot of times when they get older, they'll start to miss. They'll start to miss that jump, and then they get hurt, and we want to be careful about that.
Let's see. 877-602-9696 is the number to call to talk to Dr. Davis, or you can text your questions 33986. Let's see. Dr. Davis, I feed several stray cats at work. Is there something over the counter I can use to boost their immune system?
There's probably a bajillion kinds of supplements that will say that they do that. Honestly, if it's just a good quality cat food, especially with strays, it's hard to control. And even if you use supplements, you don't know actually how much who's getting and what or anything like that. So I just think the best quality food you can, and if possible, try to get them spayed or neutered because cat colonies just can explode really quickly.
Yeah, that's what you should do. Yeah.
And when you feed them, they flock to you even more, and then it's even potential for rapid growth that way.
All right. Let's go to Hayes.
Morning, Hayes.
There you go.
Morning.
How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm just here in Farmington Station waiting for my appointment.
Okay. What's your question?
So my dog, he's a poodle mixed with whatever,
What's his name?
His name's Seamus.
Okay, what's Seamus's problem?
So Seamus has his wrist. He has like arthritis. His foot it bends backwards because he jumps on things.
And you just want to know how to help him with that?
Yeah.
So dog arthritis.
It will kind of depend on what the situation is, because if their joints if they're hyper mobile or hyper flexible, that can definitely lead to arthritis and cause pain. But sometimes we have to figure out, is there a way to actually manage that? There are certain braces and splints that can work in some situations. And if that's not possible, there are surgical fixes for that. They will actually fuse the joints in really extreme situations. But to manage pain, your big things are going to be, to the best of your ability, is limiting that jumping, especially jumping down with the front legs. There's a lot of stress there. keep as lean weight as possible. If we're overweight, that's always going to be harder on those joints. And then if there is some pain associated with that, is being on a good pain management, anti-inflammatory, sometimes joint supplements or joint injections can help with that. So there's different ways to manage that. But
Have you thought about teaching Seamus to use a walking stick? No? No. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, I hope that was good information for you, Hayes. Thanks for calling.
All right. Yeah. Thank you.
All right. 877-602-9696. All right, Jarden. You're hopefully.
Is it Jarden?
It's spelled Jarden. I don't know. It said that he was yelling.
Jordan.
Jordan.
Okay.
Jordan, what are you calling about? What, a dog or a cat or?
It's my cat Kevin. He's really fat.
Kevin,
My
I like
cat
it. Yeah.
Kevin
I
is
like
really fat.
That's a good name for a cat, Kevin.
Yeah. So I've actually got 2 cats and a dog. One of my cats, Lloyd, he's super skinny, totally fine, really healthy. But for some reason, Kevin, he just can't stop eating. And if I don't feed him, he'll eat our plants. He'll knock stuff over. And we try to free feed both of them. But if I don't free feed, then Lloyd won't eat, and Kevin just eats everything.
Lloyd.
Right.
Just trying to keep them both healthy and one not fat and one fed.
Yeah, that's always a tough situation for sure, because free feeding is, you're going to get, what you're getting is one cat almost always seems to dominate that scene. And some cats do like to have a little bit of privacy for that. So, and I do understand the other part of that is, if they don't get what they want, dogs and cats can both be kind of annoying to destructive, annoying to destructive, depending on the pet and the situation. But I think that, for Kevin, the big risks are going to be obese cats are very high risk for diabetes. They're high risk for arthritis and joint pain and mobility issues. And I think that, starting out, really the only way you can get it under control is to do scheduled measured feedings to kind of force that to happen. I think it'll help your other cat probably too, just to get a little peace while they're eating. You have to physically just separate them and measure the food. And then for the bigger cat, you want to take that in steps and kind of work your way down. And often as they lose the weight, they'll be less food motivated over time, not always, but just that fat really drives the hunger. And so the more fat, the more hunger. And then you get into that cycle.
Oh, is that what happens to
There's
me,
me.
too?
It happens to all of us. Yeah.
Listen, be prepared, though. So I have this cat, Klaus, who's really fat. And so finally, a couple of years ago now, we said, okay, Klaus can only eat so much and only once a day. And we've been strict about that. He doesn't have any access to any other food. He does, and he's never lost any weight. We've restricted his diet. He's still fat.
Yeah, sometimes restricting alone, that's where special types of diets come in to help control different ratios of things that they're getting.
Now, I got to also say, he doesn't get a lot of exercise.
Yeah.
He lays around a lot.
It's a factor, too. And when they get fat, they don't want to exercise as much, just like us.
Me
So it's kind of these
too.
vicious cycles. But I think your first step is just measured, controlled feedings they're isolated. I have to do that with our cats. Is we literally lock one in the bathroom, one in a bedroom, and they get their food, they get a chance to eat, and if they're not done, we take the food away, and then we feed them dinner later
There
on
you
that set amount. So
that might work for Kevin and Lloyd.
Yeah, it may. It's a start anyway.
Jordan, I just have one question. Kevin and Lloyd are the cats. You have a dog. What's your dog's name?
His name's Odin.
Oh, so that's
yeah.
that's like more of a dog name.
Yeah.
All right. You've inspired me, though. I think Lloyd may be my next dog name.
Thank you for calling, Jordan.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Kevin and Lloyd.
I love it.
I'd name my dog Kevin, but that's my brother's name. He may take that badly. Ben is here.
Hi, Ben. What's your puppy's name?
Hi, her name's Piper.
And what's Piper's problem?
So every once in a while she has diarrhea, essentially. And it's kind of hard to pinpoint when it happens. Sometimes it's random. but it does seem to happen after she's been boarded for a day or two.
Oh.
But then it resolves. I don't know if that's stress or if it's something that she's picking up or from the other dogs.
Mm-hmm.
But it's at the point where it's like 3 a.m. and she's barking and then immediately has to run outside.
You're not feeding her creamed corn, are you?
No, not anymore.
Okay.
Not anymore. Yeah, this is a good question, and it is something I would say diarrhea is one of the things we see, especially dogs for. We see it all the time for that. And if you can find a connection like boarding, so anytime they get into, it doesn't even have to be super stressful environments, but just environments where there's a lot going on, or if they are stressed about it, just stress alone can cause some dogs to get loose bowels and diarrhea. Most of the time it'll just take care of itself, like you're saying. Usually, they have a bout or two and then it goes away. Usually not a problem. Odds are, unless they're feeding them treats that they don't tolerate, they're probably not picking up anything, because usually if they pick up things like Giardia or other bacterial issues, they'll keep having diarrhea. It won't just limit itself and go away. So probably just the stress or the excitement of the situation. And you could always do, if you're going to boarding or grooming or things like that, is give them a probiotic a couple days ahead of time and a couple days after, and sometimes that can help in those simple cases like that too. So,
all right.
Okay, that's a good idea. Thank you.
There you go.
There you go. Right. See? You see?
You see?
877-602-9696. So I've got to talk to my wife about that. Before she takes me to boarding, she's got to give me a probiotic.
Get your probiotic in there, yep.
She boards me every once in a while.
Here's a text question. I have a 16-year-old Shih Tzu named Jasper. His back legs are getting wobbly. He sometimes trips and falls. He can't walk as far as he used to. Is this common for older dogs? Could it be something else? Should I give him joint meds?
Yeah, that's
16 is,
that's getting up there for sure. And so you do have to suspect in older dogs like that, arthritis and joint disease would certainly be something I'd want to look into or rule out. Older dogs like that too, especially our longer backed dogs, the weenie dogs are the most common ones, but as they get older, they can get arthritis in their back joints and they can have also neurologic deficits from that. So I think it'd be hard to say without getting you in front of me and really making that assessment there. But, you want to manage pain and arthritis if it's there, but if it's neurologic, that could be a trickier situation.
All right. Let's go to Kim.
Hi, Kim.
Hi.
Hi, what's your kitty's name?
Her name is Mink.
Mink. Okay. What's the question?
Yes. So she's pretty young. She's probably 4 months old. And we found that she has been eating her own poop.
Yeah.
Poop?
Yep.
We talk about poop here all the time. It's okay, Kim.
Yeah, don't be shy.
Well, it's not me. Her. But,
Yep.
Well, if you're not eating your own, I mean, that's
okay.
Yeah,
Anyway,
we're good. I'm good.
Okay, good.
Anyway, Dr. Davis, what should she do about this?
Well, with cats, it's a lot rarer in cats than it is in dogs to have that kind of behavior. So big things we want to make sure of is that there is no underlying problem. So I would definitely make sure we've been appropriately dewormed and are on good parasite control just in case there's a factor there. Make sure we're on a good quality diet, that they eat well and digest well, because some pets will do it if they're kind of in a deficit or if they're not on enough food or enough quality food. That's less common but can happen. And then for cats, just for general cleanliness, I also recommend getting like the automatic litter boxes, so they go in, do their business, and then it takes it away so they don't have access to it if at all possible.
So I have the automatic box, and that's how I knew that that's what she was doing, because it said that it may be asleep. So I went in to check to wake her up in case, because she's a baby. She's like 4 months old. So I went in to check, and it notified me, or, so I went in and she was just
chowing down.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And young animals tend to be bigger offenders for this too. And so there are some products out there. One's called Forbid that you can mix into their food, and that and the right amounts for a tiny cat like that too would be important. But that can also kind of be a deterrent while they're growing and often growing out of that behavior. Most pets don't do that forever, but in the short term, it's not a good thing either.
Would that make it taste worse or smell worse?
That's
'Cause
the
I can't
idea.
imagine
Yeah, a
either.
little bit of both is what the idea of that is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, that deworming worked for me.
All right.
Yeah, and make sure you've got good parasite control in case that's a factor.
All right, thanks.
Thank you.
All right, let's go to Melissa.
Hi, Melissa.
Hi,
Hey, what's your dog's name?
Turd Ferguson.
Really?
We got some good ones today.
Sure.
He goes by Ozzy.
Okay. What? Tell us what's the problem?
Not necessarily a problem. It's a question about which type of nail clipper is best. You know, when I've done research on I don't know what to call it, like the scissor kind of like nail clipper where you just, trim them with like this scissor-like thing. It can cause.
Yeah. Do you have a preferred one, Dr. Davis?
Yeah, there's a bunch of different kinds for different pets and different reasons. So with scissor kind or the other kind, they're called guillotine kind. They're like a blade that'll just go through and kind of. Wow. The big thing you have to be careful of if you're not trained how to do that or watching closely is that you can cut into their quick, which is very painful and bloody, and then they really have a hard time letting you trim nails after that. Another alternative that I like, especially if dogs are more stressed or more skittish about it, is you can buy they're really quiet motor grinders, nail grinders, and so it's hard to grind the nails down too far, and so there's less of that chance of causing pain. And the quiet motored ones aren't as loud and stressful that way. So some dogs, the grinders are a great way to do that, especially if you're unsure how to do it safely.
Yeah. You could try and teach her to bite her own nails off. Okay.
Yeah. And lots of walking, on the sidewalk or, walking in general on those surfaces helps wear their nails down if they do enough of that too.
Was that helpful?
Awesome. Yeah.
Okay.
Online it says that the guillotine ones cause fractures in the nails.
They can, yeah. They're probably my least favorite or least recommended.
They're the
really
most
sharp
poorly
scissor
named
ones they can be good, but you can go too far, and that's the risk with those too.
This is why I hire a professional.
Yeah. The guillotines, I'm not a huge fan of those at all.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's see. Here's a text question. I have two dogs, a Boston Terrier and a White Yorkie mix. They are 7 and 11 and have terrible breath despite having the teeth brushing chews every night. I saw a green powder called Dental Lab or something that you're supposed to put in their food. It helps with bad breath and cleaning their teeth, but then I read it could possibly give them kidney stones. Is that true?
I've seen that product, and I think that anytime a product sounds too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true. Your dogs probably need a dental cleaning, and at that age, if they've never had one, if the breath is really bad, there's a good chance they have periodontal disease and may need teeth extracted during the procedure. So there's no substitute for yearly teeth cleaning.
I was going to say, and the brushing chews are not necessarily the way to go.
Chews are not the best either. If you're going to take care of them, either brush their teeth, and if they don't tolerate that, get the finger. They make finger wipe kind of covers for your finger that you can wipe plaque off. But once you get to a certain point, really your best bet is to get their teeth cleaned because they get so much buildup and under the gum disease, you just can't fix that any other way.
All right.
There's a good text question. And our final question is, let's see, Dr. Davis, my pet snake swallowed his tail and kept swallowing until he disappeared.
Yes.
What should I do?
Get a new
another.
Get a new snake.
Time for a new snake, I think.
Go see Dr. Davis at his Trilogy Veterinary
come
Medical
check us
Center.
out. Yeah, October 4th, open house. We'd love to see people there.
In Sandy.
In Sandy, yep.
All right.
Okay, thanks you guys.
Thank
you.